property, maybe an eighth of an acre. It is in a very prime location. Is 50 by 100 feet, which is called an eighth of an acre, too small? What can you do with a fifth of an acre? So what can you do? Number one, if depending on where your property is, let's assume your property is near a commercial center, most likely near Nairobi, or near even Joska, and you are touching a main road or tarmac. Do like a few temporary structure, commercial structures. Some people use mambati and baos, but it looks nice. Then you rent it for a small amount. No, so number one, you can do stalls. Very nice idea, temporary. These stalls have salons, they have barber shops, they have eateries. Number two, you can do events. I've seen someone in Juja. They bought this beautiful Vavaneka Pro. It's quite big. If you look at this area, you are seeing only some few small sections. They are big areas. Imagine making 10 to 30,000 every weekend. I understand there is capital that you have to put in place, but remember you have to fence the property, do some flowers, buy some chairs. The investment is not a lot. Number three, depending on where the property, assuming the property is somewhere along a main highway, near a main city, places like Mombasa Road, people are doing storage facilities. You do a big warehouse. It doesn't have to be extremely expensive. Even very high-grade mabati kind of materials, they are doing it. Then people store their materials there. They store their things there. This idea is so prevalent, especially in the West. In the US, there are storage companies, and you can also take advantage of this. Remember, you also have to market. Remember, an eighth of an acre is very big. This is 5,000 square feet of space. Number four, we have, and this is very simple, outdoor advertising. If you have a property touching a main highway, say somewhere in Kiambu Road goes all the way past Kiambu, and you have a property right there. You can get in touch with billboard companies. They will surely rent that space. They'll pay you something, maybe as per the contract, maybe every year or every month, depending on the amount. You make some small amount per month. Remember, you have to go out there and look for these companies. You can do a car wash, and I've seen this in so many places. Remember, if you owned a property, an eighth of an acre, somewhere around Kamakis, you can even do a nyama choma joint, of course, rent to someone. I have seen people do car washes in Joska, in Kamakis, around Kiambu Road, around Mombasa Road, around Gong Road. Like you have a place in Gong area where I've been selling so many properties. A new tarmac has come in the last 6 months. This new tarmac, people are building these stores I'm talking to you about. People are doing car washes because houses are being built every day. Depending on where the land is. If you have bought some eighth of an acre somewhere in Jandarua, in a very productive area, even in Nakuru, where we have big projects and they keep coming from username investment, you can be able to plant trees there. 5,000 square feet of space, those are so many trees. We also have parking lots. If your plot is somewhere in an estate that have been built. You have a plot in Syokimau, which you bought 5 years ago or 10 years ago. People have built their estates with no parking space, and your plot is just there idle. Look who own this. They'll be able to rent that property for their tenants at a fee. Most tenants are willing to pay even for parking outside for a small fee in the estate where you can keep your car safe. Remember, you can do farming in an area where places like Nakuru, Gong, some places in Kagudodo where you have done boreholes, you can decide to start doing small-scale farming. There people will be able to do greenhouse farming. But remember, you can't ignore the aspects of farming, the things, the science of farming. You have to learn that by the side so that you can maximize your produce and your output. And the last thing I would like to give you an idea about, you may have bought a property in Naivasha. For example, you have properties there from username investment. These are tourism area, and you can do a facility, a small bungalow, where you can do bed and breakfast. You know Airbnb? people go to all places, and these properties are cheap. And what I'm trying to say, there are many ideas on how you can utilize an eighth of an acre, and we'd like you to also comment down there. Tell us which other ideas I've left. How can you use your 100 by 50 square foot that you have bought, and many Kenyans have? There are ideas out there. Thank you so much. This is Real Estate in Kenya with Reuben Kimani. Welcome to Real Estate in Kenya with Reuben Kimani. In this channel, we unlock the doors to successful real estate investing. Whether you are a seasoned beginner or a seasoned investor, this is the right place for you to learn everything about real estate investing. Welcome back, and thank you for watching that video about how to effectively use the 8 acres that you have all bought, the quarters, all the parcels all over the country. You can make money from it as you wait for it to appreciate, all as you wait for that piece of property to build a home for your family. Before I forget, I would like you to assist me. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and click on that notification bell so that every time we produce this content, you are notified. Thank you so much for coming in at this hour. Before we continue, I would like us to ask ourselves a question. Why do people take loans? As we tackle the biggest debate today, is it okay to take a loan to invest or buy a plot of land in the current economic circumstances? And what are these current economic circumstances? We are talking about the finance bill at the moment, the war in Ukraine, the weakening shilling, the increase of prices of goods and services, the cost of basic commodities have gone up, and it might keep going up. Is it wise to take a loan at this moment to be able to buy a plot? We are tackling that today. I would like to welcome you to go along with me as we look at these issues. And by the end of this video and this conversation, I believe I'll be able to convince you either to take a loan to buy a property, a plot, a home, or maybe not. And why do people take loans? Number one, people take loans to take care of their personal needs. This is very common. People buy TVs, they buy mobile phones, and many other. This is called consumption. Number two, people take loans to buy properties, to buy homes. These are assets, to buy cars every other day. There are so many popular loans about properties and especially about vehicles. Number three, people take loan to fund their education. You might be one of those people who have benefited from credit facilities, and now you have a diploma, a degree, a postgraduate, and you are reaping benefits from it. Number four, people take loans to expand their business. If you have a small business out there, you are a hustler out there in Gikomba, out there in River Road, whether it's Moi Avenue, whether it's Nakuru, all over the country, you may take loan to expand your business. This is very common in small businesses, big businesses as well, because it's very important for you to be able to grow your business. Number five, people take loans to consolidate their debt. Number six, they take loan to improve their home, do interior design, buy furniture, and many other things. Number seven, they take loans to take care of emergency needs. We are talking about bills, things like hospital bills. I have seen people take loans, especially to take their relatives, maybe outside the country, places like India, when they cannot be able to get assistance here in the country. Number eight, people take loans to invest, and this is very important, to invest in a plot of land, to invest in a house, to invest in shares, treasury bills, and many other things. Those are the main reasons why people take loans. So there's a good reason to take loans, but today we are focusing on whether it is sound, whether it is okay to take loans to buy a plot of land in the current economic environment. We know what is happening in the country. Some of the things that are happening in a nutshell, I've mentioned some of them. The annual inflation rate in the month of May was 8%. The exchange rate of the dollar to Kenyan shillings is at 140 shillings. I read the newspaper today, Business Daily, and they were saying by the time we pay Eurobond in 2024, June of 2024, the exchange rate might go to 150. I believe that is conservative. These are becoming challenging, maybe before they become better. The cost of living continue to rise daily. Those are the challenging economic circumstances that we have. So we are asking, in the midst of all those things that I'm talking about, is it wise to buy a plot of land? I'll be answering that question. So before answering the question, we also need to analyze the actual figures, and we are going to base it on case studies so that you understand what has happened in the past in an actual situation. We deal with customers every day. We see customers buying plots, 1, 2, 3. There are those who buy 10. Buy 10, we give you one for free in Username Investment Limited. We have seen this, and we have seen customer dispose of some of this portion at a good profit, especially if they bought in some of those properties you have been telling them. These are properties that keep appreciating in value. Look at this case study in a nutshell. This is in Ngong, one of the projects that we sold in Ngong. In April of this year, 2023, there's a report that was produced by Haas Consult. This report revealed that Ngong had the highest quarterly and annual increase in RAD value. This is at 18.58% in the past 1 year. That is Ngong, and that's why we sell projects there, because we believe the area is high potential for you as an investor. Assuming an investor took a loan and bought a plot worth 575,000. That's how we were selling Ngong Brace Phase 6. And if you want, we have a few plots there. An investor took a loan at 13%. If you use an online calculator, and this is, we use Cooperative Bank, they would have repaid 649,750 shillings if they chose to pay in 12 months. That's quite a remarkable difference. The projects had an advantage of enjoying an annual increase of 18.58% according to the Haas Consult report this year, based on the analysis, meaning that within a year, the value of this plot stands, conservative estimate according to this report, is stand at 681,835. In addition to that, the value could be more than close to 800,000 and still increasing due to infrastructure growth. There is SGR there, there's a tarmac there, the area is so near the city, like 40 kilometers from CBD. Is a perfect place for people to build their own homes. Those who are working in town, you can go there. You can live there in the morning and go back in the evening at a good time. What these examples show, because I've seen someone who bought a plot for 800,000 in Ngong, in barely 1 year, they were able to sell it for 1.5 million to another customer who wanted to have more plots. That's why we keep telling you, you can buy more than 2. One of your neighbor may need your plot at a huge margin. That person could not believe it. They made 500,000 in 1 year. Of course, that's an isolated case. What we are saying, in 1 year, you can make more money than the interest that you are paying for that loan that you took. What does that tell you? That is being smart. And we are working with figures here, no feelings. We are working with numbers. I would also like to enlighten you on factors to consider before taking a loan to buy a plot of land in Kenya. Very, very important. Listen to me. Number one, you need to analyze the land value and the potential. And that's why in Username Investment, we are very clear. We are selling you land that is strategic, which means this land, we have done our research and we know in the next 5 to 10 years, this land will be valued at multiples of what you are buying at the moment. So we look at basic fundamental factors of investing in real estate. This is population growth, this is urbanization, and the economy. We look at those factors in Kenya. Real estate will keep expanding until we house all the Kenyans that we have, the millions that we have. So you have to check, are you buying a piece of property? This is called selected real estate. Are you buying a piece of property that has value and potential? That is how you check, and you're able to know whether to take a piece, a credit facility or not. Number two, you have to check the real estate market. You have to understand, and that's why we are doing videos like this, to enlighten you about the state of real estate in Kenya. You have to know The real estate market, particularly for the land, because that's what we are talking about today, are the prices increasing? Are they declining? Research will help you better understand the real estate market in Kenya. For the time being, until we settle all the millions of Kenyans, we get housing, the real estate market in the long term will keep increasing. You have to get this from me. It has been increasing. It has been growing from the year 2000 up to now, and I don't think it will stop because of fundamental factors despite the economic situation in the world. Number 3, you have to check the financial stability, your personal financial stability. One of the things banks do, they check whether you are capable to repay the loan. That is the most important thing they check. Among whether it is not whether you have a need or not, it is whether you are capable of repaying the loan. You have to analyze your income, your debts, your expenses to know whether you can be able to repay the loan. Number 4, the terms and the interest rates. And this is about shopping. When you go to buy a shoe out there, you don't go to one shop. Most of the time, you'll go compare like 3 shops, you get the best shoe at the best rate. The same thing for loans. You have to shop the banks. There are so many banks in Kenya today offering all manner of loans. It is your work to understand and check the banks that suits your needs. Lower interest rates and many other things, arrangement fee and many other things. Check those parameters. I'm not going to cover them at this moment. This video may not allow. Maybe we can cover that later. But check the best bank that can offer the best rates for you and go for the best. Number 5, you also have to check the land investment plan. Ask yourself, why are you buying land? Is it for investment? Is it for building a home? Those are the 2 main reasons why people buy properties in Kenya. Number 1, they buy for investment. Number 2, they buy to build their own home. And I have seen thousands build home in our plots, in Gong, in Nakuru, in Kagudo Road. I'm usually very happy because our work is not to sell plots. Our work is to be able to provide homes and affordable investment opportunities, which is something that we do so well. Remember, we are covering factors to consider before taking a loan to buy a plot in Kenya. We are at number 6. You also have to analyze this. You have to consider a backup plan should you not be able to repay that loan. We always do that. If I'm not able to pay that loan, I can dispose of another property, I can withdraw some investment somewhere. There's always something that you can be able to do. This is more of a plan B to be able to be in the good books with banks, your credit rating, because in future you need these facilities. We go to number 7. You need to get professional advice. And I want to thank you for watching this video, because by the virtue of being here, you are willing to seek professional advice. You have to consult with professionals in real estate videos like this, financial advisors, lawyers who can give you expert advice. Look for professional. And the last thing is to explore alternative options. Today we are covering whether you should take a loan to buy a plot of land. Most of you have done that. And from where we are going, as we prosecute this matter, I will talk like a lawyer. It tells you that we are heading towards telling you, as long as the interest rates are lower than the appreciation, let me say it the other way. As long as the capital appreciation, the appreciation for the property is way higher than the interest rates that you are taking in the bank, do that math. Always take a loan, because that's like business. Are you going to get a gain? And that is very important. So we are heading toward that. The last thing is to explore alternative options, and that's why I was trying to explain that particular part so that you understand. Are you able to save to buy land? Because we give installment in this company for 12 months. And other companies might do the same. Is it possible for you to buy that land without taking a loan? That is usually the best thing. You can get lump sum at your workplace. We are talking about per diems. We are talking about overtimes. All that kind of cash that you get, you can use it to buy a plot. You can also use your salary. Some people can be able to pay in installment. You don't need a loan, because as a company, we are not like a bank, like giving you interest. So you'll find that we are better off. But you only take a loan if you realize I cannot be able to pay in installment for 1 year. Can you pull money in a chama? Those are alternative options as well. There are many alternative options for buying a land. You can actually, like I covered in a previous video, you can also decide to dispose of some of the things that you don't need in the house. And I mentioned your mobile phone because some of these iPhones, some of these S23, S22s, and all these high-end phones, they cost a dime. Some people have big TVs, big furniture. There are things you are not using. You have to look at the value of things, and I might touch a live wire at this point. You have to look at the utility value of things to decide whether that thing is giving you value in your life. If it is not, dispose it off. We have sold washing machines, you have sold mobile phones. There's usually a second-hand market for these things. Pull that money, and if you continuously do that all over the years, you will be able to own this investment. Let me tell you one of the, it's called like a smoking gun in investment. There's something called compounding. If you invest today, my friend, by the time it goes to 10 years, you will be able to reap the benefit tenfold. I told you about someone who made $500,000 barely 1 year because they sold the plot to a neighbor who really wanted to have 3 plots. So they have to negotiate. You can actually make such benefits. Even if it's not a neighbor, the property prices, especially in the right location, because username is very keen on buying potential pieces of property. If you buy, like in Nakuru, for example, I gave an example last time. In 2018, we launched a project called Springfield in November, that is like 2019, at 399,000. Barely 4 years later, people are selling the same property for between 800 to 1 million shillings. I know someone who sold for 1.5 million because it was fronting the road. That is the massive return that you can get from this strategic. It's called selected real estate. I have to mention this. It is not all the plots that are being sold there in the country, in the market, that you can buy. No. They are it's called selected. Those properties that are in places that has potential for growth. And most of them will easily go for about $1 million or less, because that's the essence of investing. You buy when the prices are low, they can go up by multiples. That's what happens, and you can reap. That interest you are paying, it will be long forgotten. In 5 years' time, you will thank me for doing this video, and you thank username maybe for investing. In conclusion, and I know you have followed this discussion, what are we trying to say? If the capital gain, this money that, assuming you bought for 390, let's talk about a project in Nakuru. If you bought for 399,000 and you're able to sell for 800,000, that is like 100%. That is double the amount in 3 to 4 years. If you are to look for a loan you took for the same amount of time, most likely you would pay, if you took at 400,000, most likely you pay like $500,000 on thereabout. What we are saying is that you gain 300,000. But if you do your math and realize the interest that you are paying is higher than the capital gain that you're going to get, it's not good to take that loan. But in this discussion, what I'm trying to say, looking at the current economic environment in Kenya, the current interest rates, the way the plots are appreciating in the right places, and get this clear from me. Buying a plot of land at the right price in the right places, it is okay to take a loan to buy a plot of land. So if you look at your factors well, get your location right, it is okay to get that credit facility, walk to that bank, walk to that circle, walk to wherever you can to get a loan facilities and invest in land, because land in the right places will keep appreciating. I had to really emphasize that. Do you have any question about real estate as we go along? And don't forget to ask those questions in those comments down there. I really try my best to respond to as many as possible, and we really do, so that we able to educate you, create awareness, and make you wiser. And always come to this channel so that you can be able to learn about real estate investing in Kenya. So thank you so much for watching. I know all of you are investors, all of you want to have your own homes, and I know you'll be able to make it. I want to wish you all the very best as you invest in real estate. There's a lot of potential, and as you create bright future for yourself and your loved one. I look forward to seeing you next time In the next real estate video like this one, we produce them every 2 weeks, but every week you'll be getting something in our channel. Please keep checking. We have so much in our channels. Look for username, look for Reuben Kimani KE everywhere. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, I want you to keep learning, I want you to keep growing, and I want you to keep investing in real estate. Have a very nice day.